Mabuhay, Manila! The day has come after the unboxing video. Here we are again to give you a gaming review of this Oppo's newest Reno series, which is the Oppo Reno 7 5G. Stay with us and check as we test the Reno 7 5G. Oppo's mid-range offering, the Reno 7 5G, looks very elegant. It offers two types of colors, which is the Starry Black, and this that we have is the Star Trails Blue. Quick background about this colorway of ours. According to Oppo, this is the first phone to use LDI or laser direct imaging processing. The matte gradient finish is very unique, and the texture is not smooth, which helps on not imprinting fingerprint smudges. Moving back at the rear, the protruded camera module design and the materials looks very stylish. It has an optical illusion, wherein when you look at the camera module, it seems like it has Star Trails colors too, but if you look at it on the sides, you'll see the camera lenses inside. It seems like the camera module is made out of resin or fiberglass, which matches perfectly with its design. The Oppo Reno 7 5G isn't that big. It's pretty heavy, but it's slim. And the way its design is developed is a very luxurious device. Plus, it's not too difficult to reach the volume rocker and the power button. The secondary mic is on top because everything is pretty crushed down. USB-C port, microphone, speaker grill, and 3.5mm headphone jack. Moving on to display, it has a 6.4-inch AMOLED display, a full HD Plus resolution which is paired with a 90Hz refresh rate. It has up to 800 nits of brightness as its peak, and also, it is protected by a Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and a pre-installed screen protector. Diving into specs, it runs on MediaTek Dimensity 900 5G with a 6nm of processing and is paired with Mali G68MC4 for its GPU. It also has 8GB of memory and 256GB of storage. In terms of battery, it has a 4500 mAh paired with a 65W Super VOOC fast charger. It has a reverse charging feature wherein you can use your Oppo to serve as a power bank to charge other phones, which are very convenient or great for emergency purposes. Now, let's move to the gaming part and see if this phone could handle the game we play here in the office. Starting off with Mobile Legends, we set the refresh rate to Super and graphics to Ultra. While in the game, we had around 58 to 60 FPS, which is not new anymore because we consistently say in our gaming review contents that Mobile Legends isn't a spec demanding game. As long as you have a decent CPU and GPU and a large amount of memory, you will be able to attain 60 FPS mark. Next is Call of Duty Mobile. We went ahead on the multiplayer mode with low graphics quality and max frame rate. The game quality was decent, plus the gameplay was really smooth. We were playing at 57 to 60 FPS and it was easy to track down enemies and spray them with bullets as it doesn't have an issue with FPS drops or so. The same goes for the Battle Royale. We still end up with the same results. Lastly, we tried Genshin Impact to really stress the device out if it can handle on high demand specs game. We set the settings to all low and set the frame rates to 60. The game was playing around 30 to 42 FPS and it was still quite decent for the game. There were some stutters along the way while using the special skills, nevertheless, it is playable to some extent. The phone was kinda hot while playing the game, but I guess it was stressed on rendering the graphics, especially the grass and the VFX of the animations. Moving to the camera specs, the Oppo Reno 7 5G is equipped with a triple camera setup that carries a 64MP f1.7 main with an OV64B sensor, 8MP f2.2 ultrawide, and 2MP f2.4 macro. And for the selfie camera, it has a 32MP f2.4 and shoots 1080p at 30 FPS. We shot inside our studio to try in a controlled environment. Our subject of choice is the pastel-colored mug and the multicolor popsicle sticks. And we were quite amazed because the deep color and the details are there. Imagine using the Reno 7 5G for a product shoot and it has potential as a substitute if there is no available DSLR. Next is we tried to shoot our scenic view outside, wherein it is a great opportunity to test out the camera because of the color separation from greens to blue. And it was actually great, and the colors are well balanced. Then we tried the color filters available on the palette, and we tried to put the sweet filter. And the photo now looks so gloomy and brings back the 90s vibes and the aesthetics. After that, we tried black and white, and it gave so much mood and emotion to the photo. So we tried other angles with other filters. All of it was good, but the black and white and sweet are the best for us. We tried different compositions and some rule of thirds, and the outputs were amazing. Next is the portrait. We tried to shoot a dried leaf on the grass with f16, and it covers almost all the details on the picture but kinda blurry on the subjects that are in front of me. But beyond that, everything was accurate. Next is we tried the lowest aperture or f-stop, and it blew us away because of the bokeh. It was super creamy and it really isolates the subject. Next up is the 8 megapixel ultrawide. We took photos while the sun sets and it was decent, but there is some noise on the picture, plus some chromatic aberrations, and we guess that's just because it was getting too dark. Nevertheless, it is a great tool to have in a smartphone wherein we can squeeze in many subjects that we want in a single frame. Lastly, the 2 megapixel macro lens is the bare minimum, I guess, because the macro doesn't really have any uses and the textures were okay, but when you zoom into the photo, it was not detailed and it doesn't have any depths at all. But if it's just a bonus that Oppo added to the camera lineup, then it is fair to say that Oppo did a great job. For our final verdict, the Oppo Reno 7 5G has a decent build and quality for both worlds, in terms of camera and specs. The retail price of the Reno 7 5G is 26,999 pesos, which are justifiable in proportion to its features and the device itself. If you are asking yourself if you should get one, well, the answer is sure, maybe. It depends whether you already have an old smartphone that isn't quite far in terms of spec-wise. If you are looking for something specs-driven smartphone, then there are other options in the market with the same price or cheaper. But for the camera, it is what it is, and I'd say you should get the Oppo Reno 7 5G for the camera quality. What do you guys think about this device? Let us know in the comment section below, and thank you guys for watching. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be updated with our future contents. Also, don't forget to visit manilashakr.com for more tech news, reviews, and comparison of the latest device. Once again, this is Jacob, and mabuhay, Manila!